Hi, my name is Kristen. Hi, my name is Kristen Kuchar, and I represent the residents of Forest View Park. So when the park was facing closure by the city, the residents and concerned citizens organized. This is a community that's existed for over 40 years, and you've heard some of their stories in the resident packet that we sent out to you earlier this week. Many of them are here today. They're the lunch lady at your local school, the property maintenance guy at your building, and the DHS rep at your local office. They're a part of your city, your school, your community, your church, and the city. Do you want to say that? I'm sorry, she's just gonna announce to the Spanish speakers.
Solo para los personas que están aquí en español, la transcripción va a estar en español al rato y lo van a mandar por el grupo de chat. Es nada más, básicamente la abogada está hablando sobre el paquete que nos mandaron a nosotros para los concejales de la ciudad.
Thank you. You also learned from our packet that some stats about the affordability crisis, housing crisis in the United States, and how critical it is to preserve affordable housing such as is provided by Forest View Park. So through Rock USA, a nationwide nonprofit, we were introduced to Dr. Van Williams, who is here with us today. He is a social impact investor who wishes to purchase Forest View Park. He has a proven record of turning around properties such as Forest Park. And he's committed to the revitalization of the park and also to the infrastructure improvements and ensuring that rents remain affordable there. So Dr. Williams joins us today, so I will turn it over to Dr. Williams.
Nice. Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm Dr. Kenan Van Williams. I'm the managing founder of the Proctor Realty Group, Proctor Sustainable Bonds. We own properties in South Carolina, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, originally from Oakland, California. We have a local office here at 174 East 154th Street in the Fifth Third Bank Building. And Mayor Bellotti, I brought you a copy of my most recent book on social impact investing for you. And I'm also a member of the community. I'm part of our investment as part of the Fourth Star Wealth platform that is downtown Chicago and North LaSalle. And so we reposition properties. We take blighted properties, we take code enforcement properties, we take troubled properties, and we bring them back to life for affordability. For law and order, people that move into our communities, they have rules they have to follow. They're well lit, they're safe. We're redoing. I don't know how many of you have heard of the property at 14437 and 14445 South Halsted and Harvey. This one was featured on the national news that had, I guess, some people were locked in it or something happened. And so I worked with a really good friend of mine, Brian Castle, and who's I'm on his wealth platform, and he's one of our large investors. And I work with the mayor of Harvey, and we also own other properties in Harvey, also Riverdale, Harvey, Riverdale, Phoenix. And we work with Riverdale closely also. We've owned properties there, and I have a physical office here, so I'm not an out-of-state owner. Today here for council meeting, I'm here, I have my blazer on, but on the regular day you catch me, it's jeans, t-shirt, steel-toe boots. I walked this particular property in Blue Island. Chicago Tribune did an article on this on October 27th. I was introduced to the property by, as Ms. Chrisanne said, by Rock USA, which is a resident-owned community. I know the founder there, Paul. And I was at a, manufactured home conference. So I'm also a licensed manufactured home dealer. And we've also, turned around parks before. We're not flippers. We turn them around. We sell them to, if it calls for it, to a mission-aligned buyer. So for case in point, UMH Holdings, which is a publicly traded company, their ticker symbol is UMH. We turned around a park in Orangeburg, South Carolina. I moved there from the Oakland, California Bay Area for a family office who was a good friend of mine. I had never in my life even been in a trailer park. And I moved from the Bay Area to Orangeburg County, which was like a high poverty area. I just couldn't believe it. And by the grace of God, we were able to turn that park around keep it affordable. And when I say affordable, meaning workforce housing, people who want to participate in communities. They want to have a decent place to live that's clean, no dogs tied up outside, no unregistered cars, no code violations, just, no crap. It's just like, you want a place to live, you want to come here, you want a program, and you want something that's affordable. And our mandate is that we're 20 to 30% below most market rents in different areas. And thank you for introducing the social impact part. We are a third party verified social impact fund. So for Proactive, we're only one of two groups that have Morningstar, Morningstar based in Chicago. Morningstar Sustainalytics reports for affordable housing. And then secondarily, we have impact reports from Blue Mark Fund ID, from Impact Evaluation Labs, from OPIM, UN PRI signatory. We have a channel on YouTube, Proactive Sustainable Bonds. You can see a lot of the work that we do there. We work with very diverse communities. Being from the Bay Area, I don't know how many of you have visited Oakland or Berkeley, California, or San Francisco. It looks just like this, just like Blue Island says, prosperity and diversity. And that's what we focus on, is we focus on a diverse community of people that can afford homes. From what I saw at Blue Island, I've been over there several times to that park, and there's just so much that needs to happen. And we're also rapid housing providers, meaning that we come in, first thing we do, we light the place up, the landscape and the trees, we put up fences, take out all those dilapidated houses, and we replace them with brand new low E energy efficient homes that are sustainable, thus our name, Proactive Sustainable Bonds. Our website is www.sustainablebonds.com. And we have a lot more information, case studies. And so if given the opportunity to turn that property around, we certainly welcome it. We bought the property, the 30-unit building over on Halstead that, was just a huge challenge to the city. And we're working there, and we reposition properties, and we have several case studies.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know if there's more, if you want to go over the questions.
Oh, so does this lead a book here or the Frankfurt or?
No, you can leave it there, but I don't know if you want to take any questions.
Sure,
Is there any questions from the Alderman for the doctor? Not, who's your next? Okay.
Well, I just wanted to say that as well. Pete Silverman, the seller's attorney, is also joining us on Zoom. So if you guys did have any questions for Dr. Van or Mr. Silverman, that'd be good.
Alderman Johnson.
Yes, I'll just wait till all the comments.
Okay.
Oh, and I did, and one quick thing I forgot all about. I did meet with, was it Alderman Josh? Yeah, he came to my office, we met via Zoom, and then the same day I invited him to, come and see my office. You get people say, oh yeah, we're local investors, but they're in a faraway land. I says, no, we're right there in Harvey, East 154th Street in the Fifth Third Bank Building, Suite 190. Right upstairs, you'll see my black Toyota truck outside most days. And when I live here, I'm here at my 20325 Hellenic Drive in Olympia Field. I stay with managers. And I really like Blue Island. I think this is a really great community.
Any questions? If not, who's your next speaker, or is there another speaker?
I think Joe just wanted to make some comments, but we would welcome you guys to ask questions to Dr. Van and also to Pete Silverman if you have them.
Any questions for the ones on Zoom?
He's on Zoom. He was joining us as a participant on Zoom. I saw him up there earlier. I don't know.
Excuse me.
Okay.
You plan on saying anything, or
I don't think he planned on saying anything, but
in case we'll any questions?
yeah, I will. But
You said somebody else wanted to speak?
I think Joe just had a quick comment.
time is limited, so I hold my thoughts until another time.
Okay. Okay, and one last call, any questions? Okay, all right, thank you. Administration, did you wanna?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
So just, Tom Oglesby, Administrator, I sent the Alderman an update on this situation. So just want to kind of make clear, so, some folks had asked to have a forum to speak at the hearing, at this meeting. It's an open council meeting. We didn't want to not give anybody the opportunity to speak. That said, we're a little bit cart ahead of horse here in this process. And when I say that, I mean, we have a pretty well-established process for how, any property changes hands in the city. So what needs to happen here is that the city doesn't really have a role right now. The owner of the property needs to come to the city and file an intent to sell. That intent to sell is our process that then starts through the issues of zoning, building, health, fire, environmental, all the things we deal with. A lot of times, those things can be very expedited. In this particular case, we've got a very unique property. Excuse my raspy voice. But I think the council is pretty well aware of the history here of how this has, over the past several decades, become a very difficult nuisance property for the city. So I think any plan of what's going to happen moving forward in the future is going to require the city to go through its regulatory process for this council to weigh in as well. So there's steps that can be taken here to answer these questions about what the future of this property looks like. But that process starts with the owner, but the buyer and the seller, basically beginning their processes with the city. So that has not happened to date. When that does begin, then I think we'll probably have more information for the council at that point.
Thank you.
I see that Pete has unmuted. I don't know if he's with us.
All right, last call for Silverman.
I'm here. I really was just attending in case anybody had any questions. We totally recognize it's a difficult property, have been trying to cooperate with the city. And I've been told to close the park. So we have been in the process of doing that. This alternative seems to us to be very promising and viable and preferable to closing down the park. But obviously it's not for us to decide. We will follow the directives of the city, which we've been trying to do. But I really more so was here in case anybody had any questions.
Any questions for the attorney representing the ownership? Okay, Silverman, thank you. Oh,
Thanks.
all right, so moving on. All right, moving on to the rest of the agenda. We have a motion for approval of payroll dated November 7th, 2025, in the amount of $451,359.42. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman McGee, second by Alderman Carr on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Hookenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Mayor Wolfson.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Carries.
Next, we need a motion to approve payroll dated November 21st, 2025, in the amount of $483,464.17. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Carr, second by Alderman Ruthenberg on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Hookenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Next, under C, we have a motion for approval of accounts payable dated November 12th, 2025, amount of $218,293.48. And the accounts payable, since we didn't have a meeting, November 26th, 2025, amount of $1.270,724.11. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Hookenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee. Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carries. Under D, I think we will request for, in the essence of time, a motion to table this for right now. Is there a motion to table? Alderman Ruthenberg, is there a second? Alderman Carr, question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Could I clarify what we're tabling?
Tabling the review of the executive session meeting minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Thanks, John.
Carries. Under C, a resolution to renew the property insurance for city-owned property with Alliant Insurance Services for property insurance. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Ruthenberg, second by Alderman Montoya on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee. Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Carries. Under F, a resolution for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving the execution of a proposal from Thompson Reuters related to the renewal of the city's Clear Proflex and Clear Law Enforcement subscription for the police department. Is there a motion? Alderman Carr, second by Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Carries. Under G, an ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, regarding administrative fees and procedures for impounding vehicles used in connection with certain criminal and traffic offenses as discussed in committee. Is there a motion? Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Ruthenberg on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Under H, an ordinance of the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, amending chapter 90 under animals of the city of Blue Island Code of Ordinance relating to the tethering of dogs. Is there a motion? Alderman Carr, second by Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Under I, an ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving the loan agreement related to the public water supply loan program. This is in regards to the lead line grant. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman McGee. Is there a second? Alderman Ruthenberg on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next three are all related and they're neighboring parcels of vacant land, but we have to do them separately. So the first one's an ordinance, of the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving the execution of a purchase and sale agreement binding between the city and PJ Cahill Incorporated for the vacant lot at 13701 Sacramento Avenue. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Montoya, seconded by Alderman Carr on the question. Alderman McGee.
Question.
Alderman McGee first.
Yeah, you're gonna go through the process of, zoning prior to,
They gotta build anything.
okay. Making sure that.
Alderman Johnson.
That's pretty much down the same line of, Alderman McGee, more or less storing their equipment right instead of garbage, because I do have an issue of an overabundance of garbage in my ward, and I'll speak on that as well during my automatic comments.
Thank you. All right, so do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Again, related, under K, an ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving an executive execution for purchase and sale agreement by and between the city and PJ Cahill for 13711 Sacramento Avenue, another vacant lot neighboring the other one. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman McGee, second by Alderman Montoya on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya,
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee. Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Six ayes.
Motion carries. And the final one related to this property, an ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving the execution of a purchase and sale agreement by and between the city and PJ Cahill Incorporated for 13713 Sacramento Avenue. Is there a motion? Alderman McGee, is there seconded? Alderman Carr on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee, Alderman Carr. Aye.
Motion carries. Under M, an ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving the execution of the First Amendment to the lease agreement by and between the city and Arcus Restaurant Group LLC, located at 13351 Old Western Avenue, Unit A. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman McGee, second by Alderman Johnson on the question.
I have a question.
Alderman Fairwell.
Thank you. A couple of them, actually. One is I didn't see the attachment in the agenda. What is the nature of the amendment?
City administration wanted to address this.
So this is an amendment to, was a few months ago when we had signed a lease agreement with Arcus Restaurant Group. This is an amendment to that lease agreement. What it does, it doesn't change the financial commitment of the city. What it does primarily is, so the total project was roughly 2.3 million budgeted. But the city's commitment to this through TIF funds was 1.5 million. Through this body, we have so far done the roof and the windows and some flooring, and we've done those sort of piecemeal as they've come up at this property. We've been using the general contractor who ultimately does want to develop this into the Russell Steakhouse. So where we're at with that is that we're getting pretty close to the completion of the roof work. And that our building official is overseeing the quality of that, and so far the reports come back pretty good. We're just waiting on the glass for the windows to be delivered, and so we're kind of looking at what the next steps of a completion would look like here. And so that gives us, and I'm going off the top of my head, so I don't have it in front of me, but roughly around 895,000 in the remaining committed funds, right? That this council has not yet approved authorization for. So you have approved authorization for the 605,000, the 895 has not been approved. So we have remaining things to do there, HVAC, framing and build out, things of that nature. So rather than come to you with each invoice, with each piece, so essentially what we're efforting to do here is to get the authority for the remainder of the 1.5 million that we originally committed for this project.
So just to follow up, is this approving the lease that we're doing tonight?
Alderman Fairwell, this is Matt Welch. This is an amendment to the lease to reflect what has occurred. So as you recall, the council approved contracts for the roof work and the window work. That has occurred. And so what this is laying out is that work was landlord work to be performed. And then that cost was backed out from the original TIF subsidy. And the delta, the remainder, the 895,000 as mentioned by the city administrator, is what the lease now says is an amount up to that amount will be reimbursed, will be paid to the tenant to do all the facility work. We're only paying for costs that are going into the improvement of the structure.
To further clarify, try to get to your question there.
Yeah.
The existing lease language that was in the lease that was signed back in July or whatever it was, remains largely untouched. What is changing in this amendment is how is the financial structure portion of it, and then that leads back to what Attorney Welch was saying.
All right, and then the last thing that I knew was that Arcus was unable to come up with a surety bond or whatever they needed to do. Has that been resolved?
So we know that a surety bond was not issued, and that's what led us down the road of the city hiring the general contractor to continue. I'll let the city attorney finish it up.
So Alderman, that's why a portion of this work became landlord's work, right? Because he couldn't produce the bond. So that's why the city undertook the work itself. Now all the thing, and a lot of the issue was because the funds had been paid up front. All remaining funds are being paid on the back end of the project. It's no longer being done. So the issue of having a performance bond was to deleverage risk on front funding the project, but now that we're having him perform the work before anything's paid, the need for the bond, if covered the front funding no longer exists.
But there's still contractors bonds and they all have to be registered with the state, right?
I assume when you're talking about bond, we're talking about the performance.
Yes, right. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on a couple things I guess I've missed. So then the work is, the work is being performed on our, and that's, the city is undertaking that work. And Arcus has a lease, and the work that we're doing is on our building and would eventually be, I guess, paid for by rental payments or lease payments over time. Is that kind of how we look at this?
This is a tax exempt property. We're looking at it as, so when we enter into this lease, the building will now be subject to leasehold taxes. And the leasehold taxes, as this is in a TIF district, those taxes will be deposited into the TIF account, which with the idea, yes, it will reimburse the city over time through payment of taxes on the property that's currently tax exempt.
All right. All right, I will going to vote in favor of this, but with some concerns and reservations that I continue to have about the restaurant and their financial positions, but having something going on, I guess it's better than nothing, but I have concerns about how this is going to go. But anyway,
And
thank you.
as we discussed, Alderman, a lot of this work has to be done anyway. We had to do it anyway either way.
I understand. Yeah.
And just to cap it off, this is part of a broader effort. We are also working on lease language with the beer company. I think this council's already seen that language, so we finalize it with them. Our hope is that we have essentially out of this property that we've had the beer company kind of there for a while, but no neighbor or partner to support it. Our hope is to have two vibrant retail, restaurant and entertainment level businesses down there. And so we're hoping to have both these leases hammered out, hopefully sometime December, January.
Indeed, that's what we all hope for. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya,
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee,
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
6 ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Next, moving on to N. An ordinance, and some of these are all related through PZBA. All these next ones are through PZBA. An ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, amending chapter 165 of the code of ordinances regarding motor vehicle repair shops. Came out of PZBA. We're allowing, and it's for the motion down here, 1800 Vermont Street to remain an auto shop in a transfer and sale. It's gone through some restrictions of PZBA, so now it's at our level. It went through committee. Is there a motion? Alderman Ruthenberg, second by Alderman Montoya on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya,
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee, Alderman Carr.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Motion carries. Another one out of PZBA, an ordinance for the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, granting special use permit dwelling for a two-family to remain a two-family in a single-family residential district at 12842 Winchester Ave. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Ruthenberg, second by Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya,
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee, Alderman Carr.
Aye.
6 ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. P is related to the one we just mentioned about the auto repair shop, except this is the actual auto repair shop now allowing them to be used as an auto repair shop. So an ordinance for the city of Blue Island, County, Illinois, granting a special use permit from Migos Tire Repair Incorporated to operate motor vehicle shop along Vermont Street there in R1 single family residential district at 1800 Vermont Street. Is there a motion? Alderman Ruthenberg, is there a second? Alderman McGee on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya,
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee, Alderman Carr.
Aye.
6 ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Q, I think this is the last motion regarding the bond issue. An ordinance, the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and providing for the issuance of one or more series of general application alternate revenue bonds in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $10 million for purposes of paying the cost of construction of various water system improvements and certain other capital improvements projects within the city. Authorizing the execution of one or more bond orders, providing for the imposition of tax to pay for the same and for the collection, segregation, and distribution of certain city revenues for the payment of said bonds. This will be the third council approval. Motion by Alderman Johnson. Is there a second? Alderman Carr on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
McGee, Alderman Carr.
Aye.
6 ayes, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Mayor's announcements. We have a Christmas parade on December 6th, and I'm sure the clerk will have more details on that, but it's a great time for the city. It's one of our most popular events, and the city will have a float, so all the aldermen, feel free to bring yourselves and your families onto the city float. And join us for the parade, and we have a tree lighting before that, and I'm sure the clerk's going to talk about this also. And I also want to wish everybody a happy, safe, peaceful Thanksgiving. City clerk.
I'd like to thank everybody for participating in the Scarecrow contest. Again, over 300 students in Blue Island going to the Scarecrow contest. It's still time to sign up for the light parade. If you want to get a float or a car, stop at my office and we will sign you up. Save the date, it's December 6th, Christmas in Blue Island. There's a Pringle Mart, there's rides for kids, they're having crafts. The mayor lights the tree at 4:30, so please join us at York and Western at 4:30. The light parade begins at 5:30. Also, spend New Year's Eve in Blue Island. You can join us in front of the Lyric. There'll be fireworks and there will be music from 11:30 to 12:30 on December 31st. Happy Thanksgiving. I can't.
He wants his contract.
If you would like to be there on time, 11:30.
All right, thank you. City treasurer, we need a motion to approve the October treasury report. Is there a motion? Alderman Montoya, second by Alderman Carr on the question. Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Johnson,
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
Alderman Ruthenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Fairwell,
Aye.
Alderman McGee,
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. Do we have any executive?
No executive, because we tabled.
Okay. All right. No executive on that. City administration?
Just one item, our December 16th meeting will be our last meeting of the year. That is the meeting we're gonna pass our tax levy. Just once again, for the record of the minutes, we're gonna pass a 4.9% tax levy. It is, as you know, very important that we do this. It's legally mandated and we can't get property taxes unless we do this. So please let us know if there's any reason you can't make the December 16th meeting. It's one of our more important ones of the year, okay?
And that'll be the last meeting of the year, as long as we have a quorum, December 16th. It falls on a different date, as we always do in December. It falls on a different day. I think it's the third Tuesday of the month, or whatever it is. It's not the regular meeting. So make sure you put it in your calendars. December 16th is the only remaining meeting of this calendar year. All right. Aldermanic announcements, reports, and comments. Alderman Carr.
First of all, I'd like to thank Chief Haywood for the donation to the Veterans Memorial Food Pantry. Mike Schroeder wasn't here last time, but Mike, I did say thank you for the stop sign at Highland and 123rd Street. The residents are super happy about that. I also wanted to thank Public Works for all the Christmas lights and everything that have been put up on Western. And also a thank you to all the people who volunteered to do the planters up and down Western Avenue.
Thank you. Alderman Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just had a few comments about the Forest View property. Let them know that I was going to speak on it for automatic comments. Is the gas still on?
I don't know if it's still on.
Okay, one of the things I wanted to speak about is like, you know, I know they're in a hard situation and sometimes we make desperate decisions because we're in desperate situations, but I recently was a victim of a scam myself. And the feeling of being taken advantage of is not a good feeling. And the steps and procedures to do damage control At that point, I was a very, very angry person. But this has nothing to do with me. This is actually about the city of Blue Island and its residents. I went down to Forest View today, and some of those, some of the property look pretty decent, and some of the property just need to be cleaned up. It looks like a third world country now. I looked at where they were storing, the Forest View owners were storing storing garbage. It's dumpsters filled right next to someone's home with rats the size of cats over there. And they're not speaking about cleaning that up or how that impedes on the American dream that individual or those individuals have. You know, it was great to stand in front of our podium and mention about what could be the possibilities, but not a plan. You know, we've been talking about this. They have not met with nobody in the building department, nobody in the financial department about what to do and how to put this thing together. And I know the residents there are in a very stressful situation. And like I said, I visited that property today and watched and looked and seen movement around it. Some people are really doing their best to take care of that property. And the rest of them, they're not doing anything at all. Garbage is throughout the area. You got abandoned mobile homes down there that could be very accessible for negative things. Besides all the police calls they got down there for like overdoses, drug use, things of that nature. Yeah, everybody needs a place to stay. But I think before we take this next step, that they need to have things in place. And the owners need to come to the table, just as Mr. Wogan was speaking about. None of those things in place. But I don't like being compared to Harvey in Riverdale. And that's part of my ward. And I look at my whole city and the residents, and I hold them to a higher standard as myself. So I'm not taking what he said about Harvey and Riverdale like it was something of a badge of honor, because to me it's not. And none of them stayed to even hear or even think about what I had to say about what's happening in my ward personally. And I don't appreciate it. And that's it.
Thank you. Any other aldermanic comments? If not, we need a motion to adjourn. And next meeting is going to be December 16th. Motion by Alderman Gee, second by Alderman Montoya. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Thank you. And everybody have a great Thanksgiving. December 16th is our next meeting. Thank you.
I ordered a large chicken. I've been roasting chicken. It's fine now, because the chicken, and I got, Oh, yeah, sure. Student picture, yeah. Come up here. Hey, man, how you doing?
Any other students need pictures? Okay, everybody, picture, student picture.
It's right here.
Oh, you want the band sign?
We have none.
I see it. You got the individuals, or you want to?
Next one.
A little profile.
Whatever did I do?
How are you doing?
Everyone was so bad. I actually You think this would be slow?
Make some pictures and divert some.
No matter what you do.
It's like we play. Yeah, I got a plan. Spend months of bucks.
I say like you're not against people doing it, like,
Yeah.
sounds like you like stuff.
How's it going? Interesting.
Well, growing up.
Yeah, so that's one house.
I don't want to do anywhere from 3 to 20.
All places where I can, is there a change in color?
Yeah, that was.
Yes. Yeah, it's nice to.
Okay. All right.
Everybody wanting water.
What? Oh my God, that's how I feel like. Fun stuff.
I was gonna say, just.
Hey, Mark.